Alright, alright, alright. What's up, football fans? We've got a game that's gonna make you question your life choices, and if you're a fan of either the Arizona Cardinals or the Seattle Seahawks, you might want to check your blood pressure medication. It's the Cardinals versus the Seahawks, and if you're not excited, you must be dead or something. So, let's dive into this, shall we? The Cardinals, they've been like that guy at the party who's been winning at beer pong, but just barely. Kyler Murray, when he's on the field, he's like, I'm gonna throw this ball so hard, it'll make your grandma blush. But hey, sometimes even the best of us get intercepted by life, right? The Seahawks, they're like the cool kids who've got everything, but then they trip over their own shoelaces. Geno Smith, he's like, I'm just here so I don't get fined, but he's throwing dimes like he's got a map to where they're all hidden. The prediction. Cardinals offense, they're gonna try, bless their hearts. They'll be like, we can do this. But then, the Seahawks defense will be like, nah, bro, not today. Seahawks defense, they're gonna be all over the Cardinals like white on rice, or like how I used to be all over my SNL sketches. They'll be like, you wanna score? You gotta go through us first. Seahawks offense, they'll be running plays like they've got a cheat code. DK Metcalf will be like, I'm not just a receiver, I'm a full-on threat. And Kenneth Walker 3. He'll be like, I'm not just running, I'm teleporting. Final score, Seahawks 31, Cardinals 20. Why 20? Because the Cardinals will score just enough to keep it interesting, but not enough to make you switch channels. Why this prediction? Because, man, the Seahawks are on fire right now. They're like a well-oiled machine, and the Cardinals. They're like, we're trying, we really are. But sometimes, trying isn't enough when you're up against a team that's got all the mojo. So, keep your snacks ready, your beers cold, and your hearts open, because in the grand tapestry of life, football's just a thread, but boy, is it a wild one. Back to you in the studio, where I'm sure they're already planning the Seahawks victory party segment, or maybe, just maybe, Cardinals comeback special. Who knows? That's the beauty of sports, right? Anything can happen. Alright, alright. What's up, football fans? We've got a game that's gonna make you question your life choices, and if you're a fan of either the Green Bay Packers or the San Francisco 49ers, you might want to check your blood pressure medication. It's the Packers versus the Niners, and if you're not excited, you must be dead or something. So, let's dive into this, shall we? The Packers, they've been like that guy at the party who's been winning at beer pong, but just barely. Jordan Love, he's like, I'm gonna throw this ball so hard, it'll make your grandma blush. But hey, sometimes even the best of us get intercepted by life, right? The 49ers, they're like the cool kids who've got everything, but then they trip over their own shoelaces. Brock Purdy, he's like, I'm just here so I don't get fined, but he's throwing dimes like he's got a map to where they're all hidden. The prediction. Packers offense, they're gonna try, bless their hearts. They'll be like, we can do this. But then, the 49ers defense will be like, nah, bro, not today. 49ers defense, they're gonna be all over the Packers like white on rice, or like how I used to be all over my SNL sketches. They'll be like, you wanna score? You gotta go through us first. 49ers offense, they'll be running plays like they've got a cheat code. Deebo Samuel will be like, I'm not just a receiver, I'm a full-on threat. And Christian McCaffrey? He'll be like, I'm not just running, I'm teleporting. Final score, 49ers 35, Packers 21. Why 21? Because the Packers will score just enough to keep it interesting, but not enough to make you switch channels. Why this prediction? Because, man, the 49ers are on fire right now. They're like a well-oiled machine, and the Packers. They're like, we're trying, we really are. But sometimes, trying isn't enough when you're up against a team that's got all the mojo. So, mark your calendars, set your reminders, or just keep this channel on because tomorrow, we're not just watching a game, we're witnessing a narrative unfold where the 49ers remind everyone why they're not just in it to win it, they're here to dominate. And if you're a Packers fan, well, you've got heart, and that's what counts, right? Ah, the Bucks versus the Giants, a matchup that sounds like it could be straight out of a fantasy novel where a basketball team takes on a football team, but alas, we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Giants in a gridiron showdown. Here's a playful take on what we might expect. The setting: imagine a coliseum, but instead of gladiators, you've got the Buccaneers, with their pirate-themed flair, sailing into the landlocked territory of the Giants. The Giants, meanwhile, are like the stoic defenders of their turf, ready to prove they're not just about size but also about strategy. The teams. Buccaneers, they've been on a quest, not for treasure, but for a spot in the playoffs. With Baker Mayfield at the helm, they're like pirates who've learned to navigate not just the seven seas but also the complex waters of NFL defenses. Their offense? Think of it as a treasure map, with plays that could lead to hidden chests of points if executed correctly. Giants, they've had their share of battles, with Tommy DeVito stepping in like a knight in shining armor, or perhaps more fittingly, a quarterback in a cap, trying to rally his troops. The Giants' defense? It's like the castle walls, sometimes breached, but always with a plan to fortify and counterattack. The game. Buccaneers' offense. They might start like they're still finding their sea legs on land. But once they get going, watch out. They've got plays that could make you think they've found a secret passage through the Giants' defense. Giants' defense, they're like the old guard, trying to keep the young Buccaneers at bay. But with DeVito's magic, there might be moments where they look like they've been outmaneuvered by a clever pirate's ruse. Giants' offense, with DeVito, they might not have the most fearsome broadside, but they've got the element of surprise. If they can keep the Buccaneers' defense guessing, they might just sail through for a few touchdowns. Buccaneers' defense, they're like the seasoned sailors who've seen it all. They'll try to make DeVito feel like he's navigating through a storm, hoping to force him into making the kind of mistakes that could sink the Giants' ship. The prediction. Here's where it gets fun. The universe loves an upset, but it also loves a good story arc. The Buccaneers, with their record, might just be due for a plot twist. But, if they win, it'll be by the skin of their teeth, making everyone question if they're truly invincible or just really good at dodging karmic bullets. Final score: Buccaneers 28, Giants 24. Why? Because in the grand theater of sports, a close game adds drama, tension, and a bit of that what-if magic. The Buccaneers might edge it, but not without giving the Giants their moment in the sun, making everyone talk about this game for weeks. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, this game is just a blip, but for those involved and watching, it's the universe's way of saying, hey, life's unpredictable, enjoy the ride. And if you're looking for a deeper meaning, maybe it's just a reminder that in the vastness of space, football is our way of making sense of the chaos. Ah, the Denver Broncos versus the Las Vegas Raiders game, a clash that's less about football and more about a cosmic dance of fate, where every play seems to be choreographed by the universe's own sense of humor. Here's a take that's not just about the score, but the sheer spectacle of it all. The setting: imagine a gladiatorial arena, but instead of lions and Christians, you've got the Broncos, trying to shake off their historical jinx in Vegas, and the Raiders, who've been playing like they've got something to prove. The Broncos, they've been on a roller coaster, with moments where they look like they could take on the galaxy, and others where they're just trying to remember where they parked their spaceship. Bo Nix, their quarterback, has been like a space navigator, sometimes charting the stars, sometimes getting lost in the asteroid belt. The Raiders, they're like the underdog in a sci-fi movie, where everyone's underestimated them, but they've got a secret weapon or two up their sleeve. Gardner Minshew, with his mustache that could probably tell its own tales of interstellar travel, has been throwing like he's aiming for a wormhole. The game. Broncos offense. They might start off like they're still in hyperspace, trying to get their bearings. But once they do, watch out. They've got plays that could make a football look like it's defying gravity. Raiders defense. They're like a force field that's been flickering. Sometimes it holds, sometimes it lets through a barrage of photon torpedoes. Read Broncos plays. But when it's on, it's like watching a shield deflecting lasers. Raiders offense. They've got moments where they look like they could score from anywhere, anytime, like they've found a cheat code in the game of football. But consistency? That's like trying to predict where a comet will hit. The prediction. Here's where it gets fun. The universe loves an upset, but it also loves a good story arc. The Broncos, with their record, might just be due for a plot twist. But, if they win, it'll be by the skin of their teeth, making everyone question if they're truly invincible or just really good at dodging karmic bullets. Final score, Broncos 31, Raiders 28. Why? Because in the grand theater of sports, a close game adds drama, tension, and a bit of that, what-if, magic. The Broncos might edge it, but not without giving the Raiders their moment in the sun, making everyone talk about this game for weeks. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, this game is just a blip, but for those involved and watching, it's the universe's way of saying, hey, life's unpredictable, enjoy the ride. And if you're looking for a deeper meaning, maybe it's just a reminder that in the vastness of space, football is our way of making sense of the chaos. The Lions vs. Colts game, a spectacle that's less about football and more about a narrative unfolding in real time, with each play adding a new twist. Here's a take that's not just about the X's and O's but the sheer human drama of it all. The Lions, they've been strutting around like they own the NFC, with an offense that's been setting scoreboards on fire. Imagine a team of chefs who've mastered the art of culinary football, where every play is a dish, and they've been serving up feasts. But, here's the twist, every chef has an off day, right? This could be that day, not because they've lost their touch, but because the universe, in its infinite wisdom or lack thereof, decided to sprinkle a bit of chaos. The Colts, they're like the plucky underdog in a sports movie, where everyone's rooting for them to pull off an upset. Anthony Richardson, with his recent performance, is like that character who's been training in secret and now, with the spotlight on, he's ready to show what he's got. The Colts defense? Think of them as the unsung heroes, the background characters who suddenly step into the limelight, only to realize, oh, we can actually do this. The game, it's not just about who scores more points, it's about the story. Will the Lions continue their reign, or will the Colts, with their newfound confidence, pull off a David versus Goliath moment? Lions offense, they might score, but if the Colts manage to disrupt their rhythm, even slightly, it could be like watching a high-speed chase where the cops, Colts defense, finally get a tire spike down. Colts offense, if Richardson plays like he did against the Jets, it's like watching a rookie magician who's just figured out his trick works. The Lions defense, known for its man coverage, might find themselves chasing shadows if Richardson finds his groove. The prediction, here's where it gets fun. The universe loves an upset, but it also loves a good story arc. The Lions, with their record, might just be due for a plot twist. But, if they win, it'll be by the skin of their teeth, making everyone question if they're truly invincible or just really good at dodging karmic bullets. Final score, Lions 31, Colts 28. Why? Because in the grand theater of sports, a close game adds drama, tension, and a bit of that, what-if, magic. The Lions might edge it, but not without giving the Colts their moment in the sun, making everyone talk about this game for weeks. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, this game is just a blip, but for those involved and watching, it's the universe's way of saying, hey, life's unpredictable, enjoy the ride.
Alright, folks, gather round because we're diving into the Coliseum of Chaos for the Dallas Cowboys vs. Washington Commanders game. And if you thought the last prediction was spicy, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. So here's the deal. Cowboys offense. They're like a band that's forgotten all their hits, but still insists on playing a 3-hour set. Dak's throwing like he's auditioning for a role in Angry Birds. The live action, and Ezekiel Elliott? He's out there looking like he's running in slow motion through peanut butter. Commanders defense. They've got the defense tighter than a nun's. Well, let's just say they're tough. But against the Cowboys? It's like watching a cat play with a particularly slow mouse. They'll toy with them, let them think they have a chance, then BM. Commanders offense. They're gonna run over the Cowboys like a lawnmower over a daisy. Brian Robinson Jr. will be leaving more Cowboys defenders in the dust than a vacuum cleaner at a dust bunny convention. Final score. Commanders 38, Cowboys 13. Why 13? Because it's an unlucky number, and that's what the Cowboys are walking into. Why this prediction? Because the universe has a sense of humor, and right now, it's laughing at the Cowboys. With the Commanders at home, feeling like they've got something to prove, and the Cowboys looking like they've lost their playbook in a corn maze, it's a recipe for a massacre. The Commanders are gonna make the Cowboys wish they were back in Texas, barbecuing instead of getting barbecued on the field. It's not just a game, it's a statement. Commanders are gonna dominate, but not without giving us some moments where we think, oh, the Cowboys might actually score, before reality kicks in. So, mark your calendars, set your reminders, or just keep this channel on because tomorrow, we're not just watching a game. We're witnessing a narrative unfold where the Cowboys get a lesson in humility, and the Commanders remind everyone why they're not to be underestimated. Back to you in the studio, where I'm sure they're already preparing the Commanders' victory party segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, football aficionados, and those of you who just stumbled upon this broadcast by accident, welcome. We've got a gridiron showdown tomorrow that's going to make history, or at least make you forget about your Monday blues. It's the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Carolina Panthers, and if you're looking for a prediction, well, you've tuned into the right frequency. Now, let's dive into the nitty-gritty, shall we? The Chiefs, led by the maestro himself, Patrick Mahomes, are coming off a game that might have had them questioning their life choices, but fear not. They're like a phoenix ready to rise from the ashes of Buffalo's defeat. Mahomes has that look in his eye, the kind that says, I'm about to make some magic. On the other side of the field, we have the Panthers, who, let's be honest, are like the underdog in a David versus Goliath story, except Goliath has a laser-guided football and David's just hoping for a lucky shot. But hey, in football, as in life, anything can happen. Prediction time, Chiefs offense. Mahomes is going to throw for at least 300 yards, because why not? He'll be looking for Kelsey, who's probably been practicing his touchdown dance more than his roots. But hey, it works. Panthers defense. They'll try, bless their hearts. But it's like trying to guard the gates of Mordor with a paperclip. There might be a moment, a glimmer of hope, but then, touchdown Chiefs, Panthers offense. They might surprise us with a trick play or two, maybe a flea flicker. But let's be real, the Chiefs' defense with Spagnuolo's schemes will make them feel like they're playing chess with an AI that's already seen all the moves. Final score, Chiefs 35, Panthers 17. Why 17? Because the Panthers will score just enough to keep it interesting, but not enough to make you switch channels. Why this prediction? Because the universe loves a good story, and right now the Chiefs are writing an epic. Plus, with the current rosters, it's like watching a superhero movie where you know who's going to win, but you watch for the spectacle. And spectacle, my friends, is what the Chiefs are all about. So, Mark your calendars, set your reminders, or just keep this channel on because tomorrow we're not just watching a game. We're witnessing a narrative unfold. Chiefs to dominate, but with enough Panther spirit to keep it from being a total snooze fest. Back to you in the studio, where I'm sure they're already planning the Chiefs Victory Party segment.
Versus Tennessee Titans. Key statistical advantages. Texans, 22.8 ppg versus Titans 17.6 ppg. Stroud, 17 TDS, 5 ints versus Levi's, 6 TDS, 3 ints. Texans passing, 260.1 yards per game, 7th, vs Titans, 187.4 yards per game, 29th. Texans run defense, 89.6 yards per game, 4th, crucial against Henry. Titans 1 edge, 34 sacks, 7th, vs Texans 30, 13th. Deeper game prediction analysis. First quarter expectation, 7-3 Texans. Titans come out running Henry heavily. Texans top 5 run defense forces early passing situations. Stroud connects with Dell for early score. Titans get field goal from good field position. Second quarter, 14-10 Texans. Henry finds rhythm, scores TD. Stroud uses play action effectively. Collins exploits secondary for big gains. Both defenses settle in. Third quarter, 17-13 Texans. Game becomes defensive struggle. Titans pass rush starts affecting Stroud. Field goals traded. Henry's effectiveness diminishes against stacked boxes. Fourth quarter, Texans win 24-20. Texans passing attack proves difference maker. Key stops against Henry in crucial situations. Stroud makes veteran-like plays late. Titans' final drive stalls due to predictable passing situation. Game-deciding factors. 1. Stroud's ability to handle Titans' pressure packages. 2. Houston's run defense maintaining discipline against Henry. 3. Third down efficiency, Texans 41.8% vs Titans 29.6%. 4. Red zone scoring, key for low-scoring Titans. 5. Fourth quarter QB play, Stroud's poise versus Levi's inexperience. The difference maker will be Stroud's maturity in crucial moments and Houston's ability to maintain their run defense late in the game. While Tennessee's home field advantage and pass rush will keep it close, the Texans' offensive balance and better QB play ultimately prevails. Final score, Texans 24, Titans 20. Patriots vs Dolphins statistical analysis. Based on NFL.com official statistics for 2024 season. Team statistical comparison. Offense rankings. Dolphins. Points per game, 29.3, second. Total yards, 428.5, first. Passing yards, 287.1, first. Rushing yards, 141.4, third. Third down percent, 47.2%, third. Patriots. Points per game, 13.5, 31st. Total yards, 289.7, 30th. Passing yards, 194.8, 26th. Rushing yards, 94.9, 26th. Third down percent, 35.2%, 25th. Defense rankings. Dolphins. Points allowed, 23.8, 23rd. Total yards, 348.2, 21st. Pass yards allowed, 243.8, 25th. Rush yards allowed, 104.4, 13th. Sacks, 28, 15th. Patriots. Points allowed, 24.5, 21st. Total yards, 334.1, 14th. Pass yards allowed, 220.8, 12th. Rush yards allowed, 113.3, 19th. Sacks, 30, 12th. Key player statistics. Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa. 2,934 passing yards. 21 TDS, 9 ints. 69.8% completion rate. 105.4 passer rating. Tyreek Hill. 79 receptions. 1,222 yards, first in NFL. 9 TDS. 15.5 yards per catch. Raheem Mostert. 691 rushing yards. 12 TDS. 4.8 yards per carry. Jalen Waddle. 47 receptions. 691 yards. 3 TDS. Patriots. Mac Jones, Bailey Zapp. Combined, 2,142 passing yards. 10 TDS, 12 ints. 64.2% completion rate. Ramondre Stevenson. 482 rushing yards. 3 TDS. 3.8 yards per carry. Demario Douglas. 36 receptions. 410 yards. 0 TDS. Game prediction analysis. Key matchup factors. 1. Dolphins' top-ranked offense versus Patriots' mid-tier defense. 2. Patriots' struggling offense versus Dolphins' vulnerable defense. 3. Speed mismatch, Hill, Waddle versus Patriots' secondary. 4. Weather forecast, potential rain impacts passing game. 5. Division rivalry factor. Projected statistics. Dolphins. Tagovailoa, 275 yards, 2 TDS, 1 INT. Hill, 8 catches, 115 yards, 1 TD. Mostert, 85 rushing yards, 1 TD. Team total, 385 yards. Patriots. QB, 185 yards, 1 TD, 2 ints. Stevenson, 70 rushing yards. Douglas, 5 catches, 65 yards. Team total, 265 yards. Final score prediction, Dolphins 27, Patriots 13. Reasoning. 1. Dolphins offensive firepower, 29.3 ppg versus Patriots 13.5 ppg, is decisive. 2. Miami's rushing attack exploits Patriots' bottom half run defense. 3. Hill Waddle speed advantage over Patriots secondary. 4. Patriots offensive struggles continue against decent pass rush. 5. Weather could slow Miami's passing game, keeping score lower than typical Dolphins game. Bears vs Vikings statistical analysis. Based on NFL.com official statistics. Team statistical comparison. Offense rankings. Vikings. Points per game, 21.3, 19th. Total yards, 334.5, 16th. Passing yards, 242.7, 10th. Rushing yards, 91.8, 28th. Third down percent, 37.3%, 21st. Bears. Points per game, 20.2, 21st. Total yards, 321.6, 20th. Passing yards, 195.7, 24th. Rushing yards, 125.9, 8th. Third down percent, 41.2%, 14th. Defense rankings. Vikings. Points allowed, 20.3, 9th. Total yards, 326.1, 13th. Pass yards allowed, 228.4, 17th. Rush yards allowed, 97.7, 8th. Sacks, 37, 3rd. Bears. Points allowed, 24.7, 24th. Total yards, 335.8, 16th. Pass yards allowed, 238.3, 23rd. Rush yards allowed, 97.5, 7th. Sacks, 24, 20th. Stats for Vikings vs Bears. Vikings. Dobbs, 225 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. Jefferson, 6 catches, 85 yards, 1 TD. Hawkinson, 7 catches, 65 yards. Total offense, 340 yards. Bears. Fields, 195 passing yards, 65 rushing yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. Moore, 7 catches, 90 yards, 1 TD. Team rushing, 135 yards. Final score prediction, Vikings 24, Bears 20. Reasoning based on statistics. 1. Vikings superior pass rush, 37 sacks versus Bears 24, will pressure Fields. 2. Bears stronger run game, 125.9 YPG versus Vikings 91.8, keeps it close. 3. Vikings better scoring defense, 20.3 versus 24.7 PPG, makes late stops. 4. Jefferson's return impacts Bears 23rd ranked pass defense. 5. Vikings home field advantage, 4-2 at home, versus Bears road struggles, 1-5.